Well, hey y'all. This is the Dreadhead Cracker, and I'm coming to you guys via the Dreadhead Cracker Show. This will be the first season of the Dreadhead Cracker Show. Before I get started, if any of you guys remember about the last chat we had, or I had with you, I don't know if you were participating or not, but hold on. hmm but it was about having a Zoom chat conference with lots of people, like the whole Dreadhead Cracker family of people. Oh. But the thing is that okay, well, anyway, Jenny went ahead and got all everything all set up, so we're ready to initiate a Dreadhead Cracker Zoom conference. But we're going to have a little bit of foreknowledge about if anybody's going to show up because, let's face it, the Dreadhead Cracker is pretty sensitive. And if we did this whole thing, set it up and stuff, and nobody showed up to talk to the Cracker, I don't know. I mean, it might get to be a little heartbreaking, if you know what I mean, because I am a Pisces, the Cracker is a Pisces. And that means I'm a lover, not a fighter. And I'm a peacemaker and an overall funny guy. But anyway, what I was thinking was that if you guys would just, if you're interested, don't do it if you don't want to. It's not like you're going to get paid for anything, or I'm going to get paid for it or anything, but I just think it'd be fun, have a chat maybe, and look at all the people who would like to talk to the Dreadhead Cracker. Well, unless there's only like, well, I don't know, I don't care if it's just two people. I don't care, I'll do it with just two people. So if you can get a couple of friends together and get together and, I don't know, all around the world, because I do have friends all around the world, and if you would, you could send me a note and say, you could, hey, Tom, let us know, give us advance notice, and we will dial in. So, if you guys want to do that, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm like dreaming that anybody wants to talk to the dreaded Cracker enough to, make time for a video Zoom conference. Okay. Now let's move on to the reason for today's show. Oh, excuse me, I got a little gas. But anyway, today what I wanted to talk to you about today was the Florida State Reptile. Uh, the Florida State Reptile. Could you hear me? Yeah, the Florida State Reptile and the Florida State Reptile. Okay, good. So who can guess the Florida State Reptile? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay, everybody put your hands down. Okay, so everybody knows, I guess, the Florida State Reptile. So I'll just skip to the point, right? Skip to the well, whatever, the beginning of the conversation without the quiz ahead of time. As you know, there may be a quiz at the end of this, so pay attention. Well, anyway, okay, let's just assume everybody knows that one, the Florida State Reptile has got to be what? A reptile. Like it can't be in the plant kingdom, it can't be in the. So it's got to be in the animal kingdom. And then when you start breaking up the animal kingdom, you get like the, I don't know, bugs, insects, that kind of shit, something like that. That's one kind of life, and then you get the reptiles, and they're just a little bit more than bugs, and then the birds, and they're almost like reptiles. All these birds that we got flying around here, especially the ones that have big long legs and go wading through the swamps of Florida looking for fish. Those things look like prehistoric birds. And those birds, all birds apparently came from reptiles, the dinosaurs way back when. And so yeah, our birds are just little tiny feathered reptiles in essence. So, and then you got the mammals, the furry creatures like us, and our dogs and our cats, and you have pigs and cows, and which brings me up to something. No, I'm just going to ditch the whole vegetarian conversation right now because I don't think it's going to make me any friends other than the rest of my redhead crew who know that eating the flesh of animals is not at all. I'm sorry, bro. It is just not, and not good for you. But anyway, you gotta do whatever you do. I don't want to say that I don't want to be friends with people who eat mammals and birds and even reptiles and stuff. But see, that reminds me, we're talking about reptiles. But okay, good. So, one, the Florida State reptile's got to be a reptile. Number two, what's that number two thing? There's got to be a lot of them, right? The state bird is a mockingbird. It's against the law to kill a mockingbird, isn't that? Remember, I think. I don't know, but it's against the law because it's the Florida State bird. You can't go out and shoot your BB gun or your slingshot at a mockingbird. I mean, not that I want to kill anything, even lizards, and we got a ton of lizards here, but so the Florida State reptile, if you were to guess it was a lizard, you'd be wrong. So anyway, let's just get straight to the point here and talk about the the Florida State reptile, which everybody has guessed by now, is the alligator. And I have an affinity for alligators myself because I myself, the dreadhead cracker, was born in Gainesville, Florida. I may have mentioned this before. And Gainesville is the home of the University of Florida Gators. Best university in the entire universe. And I just love the orange and the blue. I mean, way too much. But anyway, so yeah, that means that I'm not only am a alligator fan, and a gator fan, I'm actually a born gator. So I got a little closeness to the state reptile. Now, the reason I'm bringing up the state reptile at this point because it's their mating time. It's springtime, and even alligators. I don't know, man. You can't imagine it. It's pretty rugged. It's not what we would call. I mean, yeah, I think there's a bit of a pornographic genre that might work with all them teeth and everything involved, but I don't know. But yeah, they're all into it this time of year, and the men are all upset and practically pissed off about any of the. I mean, they got the bulls, and who are like essentially like in the pecking order of alligators. They're like huge. They're like 18, 20 feet long, and you got these little boy alligators, and maybe it's their first year to be trying to get a woman. I mean, all of us can remember that time when it first occurred to us that we had to have a woman And at first you make all kinds of mistakes in your efforts to get a woman. I mean, most people do because it's not like most people are not born with an instinctual uh, uh, awareness of what it takes to attract the opposite sex. I cannot say how much that does not apply to me because I am one of those ones that was born with, some sort of like a, I don't know, indigenous. No, that's not what they call it. It's something you're born with. Congenital cuteness. That's what I got. And all through my growing up. I showed y'all pictures. I was a pretty little boy, and I have grown up to not be such a pretty boy anymore. But since you know, I have not lost my charm. Because after all, look at my Jenny Duke. I mean, you can't have a better woman in life than my Jenny Duke. Anyway, so let's go back to the alligators, and I keep getting sidetracked. Well, you guys, I tend to smoke a little weed and drink a little beer, so I sometimes do get distracted, and, whatever. So, alligators. What was the last thing I told you about? The mating season, and now the other thing is poodles. This is the time of year when tons of people who live on golf courses and you know these retirement communities and stuff like that that's got a big pond in the middle with a fountain and everything. They think it's like waterfront living or whatever. And what it is gator front living. They don't forget that they can't just let their poodles or whatever, their schnauzers or the little ones, the little yippy dogs. I mean, I love them. I love my Wawas, my Chihuahuas. Oh, the cracker loves himself some Chihuahuas, and my Chihuahuas died, and I decided that I don't know that they were probably. Well, it wasn't like I went shopping for them or anything. I adopted them. Somebody came to me and said, "Cracker, I got these Chihuahuas, and they need a home. So would you take these Chihuahuas?" And that time I was living alone. I mean, one of them rare times in life when I did not have a woman on my arm. And so I said, "Well, hell yeah, I'll take some Wawas." And they were so cute and stuff, I gotta tell you. And I'd have been real fucking pissed off if they had gotten eaten by a gator. But see, the cracker knew better. I did not live on a golf course, or I didn't live near a community pond water feature. That's what they say, down here. You'd have a water feature. Now, I have no idea what that is, but, I'm out here on a canal that goes straight out into the Gulf of Mexico. That's what I call a water feature, the Gulf of Mexico. That is a big water feature. So anyway, so what is the one more thing that I need to tell you all about alligators? The history. Alligators at one time in Florida almost disappeared because all these killers came down and started killing them and skinning them, and had the great idea they're going to make women's wear or accessories, alligator bags. I heard from my grandma that were very big alligator bags. And she even told me about these things called alligator shoes, which I thought were pretty weird at the time. I do remember going into the Woolworths when I was a little kid in Gainesville, and they'd have these stuffed little alligators by the dozen. I didn't, they were kind of like covered with varnish or something like that. But I asked my mom, what are these little those aren't alligators, those are caiman. And at that time, I was like, well, what's a caiman? She said, it's like an alligator. So I didn't ask anymore. But anyway, the alligators almost got all eradicated, and they were sometime in the past, somebody, whatever president or environmentally conscious human being with a heart, put them on the endangered species list, and they could not be killed indiscriminately anymore. And then because they're freaking lizards and they fuck like rabbits when they do, and the gators just came back everywhere. And I'm not saying anybody should go killing gators, but you know, it's kind of like, for me, it's like old Florida. You know what I mean? Well, holy yeah, whatever. You got to watch out for alligators and around fresh water in Florida, and possibly crocodiles around saltwater. Duh. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the chat here. Don't forget the Zoom conference. Send me a note on either Facebook or on the YouTube thing. And by the way, if you guys are on Facebook, I want to see a lot more subscribers there. Even if it's like it don't cost nothing or anything like that, and then you get notified every time the cracker decides he has something to say. And then, so, one more time, Zoom conference, send me a note, tell me, I'm down, cracker. See y'all.